welcome to my channel on the best of fantasy. These are the weeks that were, are, and shall be. Let's begin with a huge thank you to everyone who took part in the sale of the Edan trilogy. All 3 books were on sale, the ebook version that is, through Amazon. And over 1,100 copies were sold. So I am completely thrilled with that. In that 5-day period, over 1,100 copies sold. So it makes me very happy to think there are more copies of the 3 books in the trilogy out there in the world. It was to celebrate the 1-year anniversary of the release of The Way of Edan, and I couldn't be happier with the reception, the kindness of people who have read and reviewed the books on various forums, so Goodreads and Amazon and here on YouTube and other places. It's just tremendous. The support has been really fantastic, and so my heartfelt thanks to all of you for that. I also want to talk a little bit about SPFBO, SPFBO. I should just say SPFBO. It's a lot easier. I have some very exciting news about SPFBO, and it is in regard to me forming a team. I mentioned that I wanted to do that in an earlier weeks that were video, and here I am announcing the team members today. I'm very excited to announce that the following individuals are going to be on my team, and I haven't decided, are we going to have a team name or what? Am I going to be boring and just say Team Philip Chase? It sounds kind of lame. So maybe we'll come up with a name, Team Dr. Fantasy. Has a little more snazz to it, I guess. But we'll see. But anyway, here are the wonderful people. I am so grateful to these individuals who are going to help me out with SPFBO. Now, in case you don't know what SPFBO is, or SPFBO, it is the self-published fantasy blog off. It's a contest that was started by the author Mark Lawrence in order to shed light on self-published fantasy. And 300 books get to enter this contest, and they're whittled down by the judges to 1 winner in the end. But there also are 10 finalists. So it's been a really great year for me being a judge for SPFBO, one of the judges. It's been also very busy, and I did need some help, I thought, if I'm going to continue doing this. And so I'm so happy that I'm going to have help from some great people. And of the 6 individuals who are going to be joining my team, 5 of them do have YouTube channels, and the other also is a very active member of our community and does some writing elsewhere. So this is very exciting to me. So here they are. Matt from Go Read Books. Matt from Go Read Books. I will put a link to all these channels in the description. But Matt is a wonderful individual, great fella, who is a huge supporter of indie fantasy, and he was a logical choice for me to ask for help here. I think he's going to be a fantastic judge, one of the nicest people you can meet on BookTube. We also are going to have Vaughn Roycroft. Now, he is the one who does not have a YouTube channel, but he is an author. I have mentioned his books here on the channel before. I love his trilogy, the Sundered Nation trilogy. So far, The Severing Sun, Book 1 is out, and very recently, the 2nd book, Bold Ascension, came out, and I loved it. It's fantastic stuff. But Vaughn is going to be joining my team and helping me out, and he does not have a channel, but he does write for Writer Unboxed, which is a group of writers who get together and support one another. But there is a really nice voice there. So I think the more outlets, the more voices we have for SPFBO, the better. I think it's just great that Vaughn is going to be joining us, and he writes fantastic reviews on Goodreads sometimes as well. So I'm just really happy to have him on the team. Great writer, wonderful, insightful, kind person. And then there is Angela from Do Unicorns Read, and I am so thrilled to have her insightfulness and her expertise. She is somebody who knows a lot about literature, has studied literature at the graduate level, has a PhD in comparative literature, and is brilliant. And so I'm really thrilled to have her input here on the team, and her channel, Do Unicorns Read, is a wonderful place. I have been a guest on her channel before. She has been a guest here on my channel a few times, so you may be familiar with her, but I do encourage you to check out Do Unicorns Read. And then there is Sam Harrison, and I am so happy to have Sam on the team. I have enjoyed watching Sam's channel begin to grow. He is also an individual who has been very supportive of indie fantasy. Just a great fellow. I love listening to him talk about his books and how he always greets us with a nice hi, hello at the beginning of his videos. super great individual that I'm so happy to be working with. And I can say the same of Abel Montero, who has a wonderful channel as well. Now, Abel is a writer, but his books are in Italian because that is his native language. However, he is in the process of translating his books into English, and they are fantasy as well. But Abel, once again, Abel has been a huge supporter from his channel of self-published fantasy and is very deserving. He's going to be great for this contest. He is going to be absolutely fantastic. His enthusiasm for self-published and indie fantasy is just without peer, and I'm so happy to have him. And finally, there is my buddy Brian from BellTube. Yes, Brian is joining the team. I am so thrilled. Brian is such a super guy, such a wonderful community builder, and I'm so happy that he agreed to help me out here. It's just going to be so much fun talking with him and getting his input, and just feel like he is a person I want to be friends with for life. So it's great to have an excuse to interact with him. So yeah, there's my team, wonderful people, and I hope you will welcome them in the comments. And I am excited for SPFBO 10 or SPFBox because the 10 is a Roman numeral X, so people are calling it SPFBox. So yeah, it's going to be great. This contest gets bigger and bigger every year in the sense that there is more and more momentum behind it, and I'm happy to be doing my little part to contribute. So yes, also, by the way, be on the lookout for some more SPFBO reviews from me because I'm going back to reading the finalists in the month of April. I have to finish up. I have a deadline. I got to finish. So I'm excited about that. So speaking of which, on the channel, I have been doing some fun stuff. One of the things being a review of The Daughter of the Beast, which is a SPFBO finalist for SPFBO 9. And I had a great time reading that. By E.C. Greaves is the name of the author. He's got such a wonderful sense of humor, and I really enjoyed my time with Daughter of the Beast. So check out that review if you're interested in supporting some great self-published fantasy. And as I said, I'll be back with more. The last 5 of the finalists I will be reviewing in April. Another video that I had on the channel was Evocations of Edan. This was very special to me because my daughter, Rohana, my older daughter, composed some music and was willing to share it with me and have me put it out on the channel as a sort of a companion piece to celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the release of The Way of Edan. To be honest, the piece reminds me the most of Return to Edan, especially the ending. But I'm happy if anyone associates it in any way whatsoever with the trilogy, because I just love the piece. And of course, I may be a little bit biased, but I think she's an enormously talented cellist. So if you haven't checked out her cello piece there, I encourage you to do so. And I also had a wonderful time making this video, one of my best of fantasy videos. I've been doing these crazy kind of top 10 format style videos, but I've been concentrating on various aspects of fantasy. So I've been looking at fantasy authors who make us cry or make us laugh or make us think, or in my opinion, the ones who are the best in terms of prose or world building. My most recent one was about the weird, the surreal, the fantasy authors who are the best at creating the surreal. And I had a great time making that video. And as always, getting some wonderful suggestions from folks in the comments. That is what those videos are for. They're not me saying definitively, these are the best. No, these are just my picks, and I love hearing from people about theirs. I love getting recommendations, and I know that I have a lot of gaps in my fantasy reading for sure, so it's great to get a feel for what's out there from folks. So yeah, that's what these are made to be, just conversation starters, places where people can get some good recommendations, and that sort of thing. Also had a wonderful time talking with Laura from Fantasy Awash for an episode of Dear Dr. Fantasy. This is a series that I continue to enjoy immensely. It's my chance to sit down with a fellow booktuber and get to know what makes them tick, get to know the books that have defined their lives, their reading journey, and talk about whatever comes up. I had a great time talking with Laura. Such an insightful, smart person. Just a great time. We talked about religion and fantasy. That is a topic of interest for her, and history and fantasy, and so many other things. Just had a great time. Some of our favorite authors, of course, came up. So if you haven't checked that out, I encourage you to do so and to check out Laura's channel, Fantasy Awash. And I also released a video on my thoughts on the East Blue Saga of One Piece, the manga. And this was tremendous. I am just so grateful for the reception I got, even though I mixed up seinen and shonen. Some people had a good time with that. What can I say? I mean, what I said in some of the comments is, hey, I sometimes mix up my daughter's names. So seinen, shonen, yeah, well, okay, I'll get it straight eventually, maybe. But the important thing is people were very kind to me, and I had a great time sharing my thoughts on One Piece. And if you haven't tried manga before, I have to tell you, there is some great storytelling going on in that medium, some tremendous stuff. I personally believe that you can find great storytelling in just about every medium there is, and there's a reason why something like One Piece is as popular as it is. There's something that the creator of that is doing right, and it is definitely landing with so many people. Not just landing, but many people will tell you it is one of the greatest adventures, one of the greatest journeys they've ever been on. And I'm beginning to see the love there. I really had a great time with the opening arc with the East Blue Saga, and I feel like I probably haven't laughed as much in a long, long time. Reading One Piece, I'm just constantly smiling and laughing and feeling good. That feels really fantastic, to have an experience like that. I didn't even realize I kind of needed that. But I'm usually a fairly happy guy. But man, I just feel such a wonderful sense of catharsis when I'm reading One Piece. And it's not just about the laughs, though. There's some really deep emotional stuff in there as well. It surprises me how much a manga like One Piece, it's silly and it's hyperbolic and it's ridiculous, and it leans into all that stuff in a way that I just find so endearing. And somehow it also is just very emotionally effective. And there are some themes in there. There's some great themes. I talk about that in my review of the East Blue Saga. There are some I can see that Oda, the mangaka, is setting up some really great themes. And I'm told by the fans of the series that these themes just get deeper and wider as the series goes. And it's a world that I'm going to have a great time exploring. And I believe that they are probably correct in that. So I'm excited to continue in One Piece. And I believe I'll be probably every couple weeks, I will aim to release a video on my progress. I'll try to get an arc done every couple weeks at least. And it's just, I would probably do it more often, but my life is so busy right now getting through the SPFBO reads, and it's a super busy time of the semester right now where I teach. So I'm grading all the time. So it's just, yeah, I'm a busy fella. But maybe when the summer comes, I'll even quicken my pace on the One Piece. We'll see, but I'm thoroughly enjoying it regardless. So thank you so much for all those people who gave me comments and even subscribed to the channel for that One Piece video. I feel the love and I feel the support, and I feel very welcomed to the One Piece community. All right, so elsewhere, I was in a discussion of The Sandman with Varsha from Reading by the Rainy Mountain, who hosted the discussion, as well as AP Canavan, my nemesis from A Critical Dragon, and we had a great time talking about the first few issues of Seasons of Mist. I think it's 21 to 25, issues 21 to 25 of The Sandman. Really cool stuff. Neil Gaiman is brilliant. I love his writing, and this has been a great experience, this graphic novel. Really deep, profound insights about human nature, as well as some disturbing and beautiful stuff. Gaiman does that like no other, I think. So yeah, it was a great time chatting with those two, and AP even came armed with a Philip Chase mask, which, you'll have to watch that video if you're super curious to see. But for a moment there were two of me in the discussion. It was really quite amusing, and there's a story behind that, which I guess I can go into a little bit here. So the author, the wonderful author Jenny Wirtz, and her husband, who is, by the way, an incredibly accomplished artist. Both of them are. It's not fair to have so much talent in one couple, but there it is. So Don Mates is Jenny Wirtz's husband, and he I think with some instruction from Jenny, created this mask of yours truly, which was given to my nemesis, and the nemesis is exploiting it to the full. So, but you'll have to see the video of our discussion over at Reading by the Rainy Mountain if you want to see that. But anyway, yeah, it was a great time. And then speaking of Jenny Wirtz, what am I reading right now? Well, I am reading Grand Conspiracy, which is book 5 in the Wars of Light and Shadow. I just continue to be in awe of Jenny Wirtz's prose and her world building and the ways in which she makes me think. This is some deep, vast, beautiful stuff, guys. This series, which is going to be finished in May with the publication of the final volume, the book 11 of this incredible series. This is one of the absolute pinnacles of the fantasy genre, guys. I am really, every book I read, I'm more and more convinced of it. And I believe that it should be up there in any conversation with books like the Malazan Book of the Fallen or Realm of the Elderlings. And we're talking about that caliber. It's really incredible stuff. I will say that it is an investment. It is something that where Jenny Wirtz makes me run to my dictionary more often than any other author. So I enjoy that challenge, though. And once you get used to that prose, it becomes like a warm bath. Just you read something else and it feels kind of too simple, and then you go back to Jenny Wirtz's prose and you're like, wow, this is really an experience. So I'm enjoying myself tremendously, and I will be talking with Joanna and AP about Grand Conspiracy in the near future. As soon as I'm the slow guy, so yeah, they're waiting for me to finish, which I should be doing hopefully this weekend. So yeah, and I am going to be reading after Grand Conspiracy more SPFBO. My April is pretty much booked, as it were. But if I get a chance, if I read those super fast, then I will be reading also Mark Lawrence's The Book That Broke the World as soon as I can. I'm so excited for that. The first book in that trilogy, the Library Trilogy, the Book That Wouldn't Burn, was my favorite book of 2023, and I'm hearing some really great things about The Book That Broke the World, book 2. So I'm so excited for that. I think it's the release this year, along with John Gwynn's Fury of the Gods, that I am probably most excited to get to. And of course, Jenny Wirtz's 11th book, but I don't know if I'll get to that this year because I'm only on book 5, but those 3 releases, very excited for. And yeah, after that, I'm going to probably, of course, I'll be continuing to read One Piece and The Sandman as I can, and probably in May, not probably, but one way or another, I'm going to start reading Aspect Emperor by R. Scott Baker, the sequel series to The Prince of Nothing. All of it is part of the Second Apocalypse series. And I'll be starting Bound and the Broken in May as well. So exciting stuff. Loads of exciting stuff. I also have some great Dear Dr. Fantasy episodes that are coming up. I'm going to be in a chat with Britton from Some Okie Dude about The Way of a Dan, which he recently read. I'm going to be in a chat about religion and fantasy over at Do Unicorns Read. That's on Gayla's channel. She's got a great lineup for that one, including 3 authors who are very interested in that theme, as well as some brilliant other people on this platform. That's going to be a really great discussion. More on that. It's going to be mid-April. And also I'll be on an episode of Page Chewing with P.L. Stewart and with Taylor from Made Between the Pages. So yeah, that's something to look forward to also in April. So lots of great stuff. I'm very excited to be here, and I'm so grateful for all your support, for the comments and everything else. I'm having a blast, guys. This is great. I'm very grateful to be around here, as long as you'll put up with me. But that is it for me for now. Until next time.